And welcome back to another episode of the Change Officer Podcast Step Conference Series. And this time with me, I have Mamoun from Wego, Managing Director, who's been with Wego for 9 years. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time. Step Conference is soon to be wrapped up. We have a couple of hours left. What do you think so far? How do you like it?
Very much, actually. See, we've been here in the area for quite some time.
Yeah, you've been watching from your window and from the ground.
Exactly, and we have a very strong strategic relationship with both Step and the Internet City.
Yes, absolutely.
Backing Step up. We work very closely with them since we came here, so it's interesting to see how much they grew, how they are, diversifying their approach, basically, and it's great. I remember when we came here as well to the region as a business coming from Singapore. We wanted to understand the region and find opportunities where we can introduce the business, introduce ourselves as a startup at that time. And Step was like on their baby steps at that time.
New kid around the block, right?
Exactly. So we just get into it, was like small, trying to grow as well. So we kind of grew together. So it's amazing now, at the time where we are, doing, an acquisition and we're making some big noise in the industry. We see Step is back as the first big outdoor, in-person event after what happened. So
it's really amazing.
It's kind of a nice relationship, a correlation between both of us.
Yeah, and it's nice walking around and then seeing your logo on the top of the building next to it. And
makes me proud.
Looks very powerful. Yeah, you've been with Wego 9 years so far. Some amazing things happened, and one amazing thing recently or right now is in the happening. But like what I would like to talk with you a bit more, before we deep dive into the future and so on. The whole industry that you're in, right, has been flourishing for years, and you've been with Wego for 9 years, and everything is great until it's not, and then 2020 happened, and your industry was really hit hard. How do you cope with that, and what do you really do? Like, did you see it coming?
No, of course not. Of course not. So we came here end of 2012, beginning of 2013, where really, the online travel in the region was quite at the very beginning. Very much emerging market. We liked it at that time. We came as the first online travel marketplace who offers the full service in Arabic. That was like kind of big milestone for us. Like helped us a lot. Getting traction from Arabic users in UAE and in Saudi particularly, and in Kuwait. We started talking to airlines, bringing them into the comparison. Every small OTA that was kind of startup opening up started to partner with us. So we kind of grew with the industry growing. It's a very fresh industry, very young generation across the region here. Mobile penetration is very high, and we are a mobile company, since 2014. We started putting our apps in place. We started doing some strategic partnerships with the preload. So everything was going, fantastically well,
like
and amazing
like
way.
A fairy tale.
Yeah, absolutely. 2019 was the largest and the biggest year for us and for the entire travel industry historically, right? So in the history, there's never been a year with like as much revenue made from
What do you think
bookings.
was the reason for 2019 in particular?
Was growing on every year. So if you look at 18 to
historically,
it's just going year after year. But 2019 was so big for the industry because the world was pretty much in the move at that time.
You were hoping for retirement in 2020, huh?
Well, we were hoping that, so we start putting our plans for IPO and this kind of stuff, We say, okay, a couple of years from now down the road, we're gonna go public and go big and do stuff, 2020 started, actually Q1 was quite, especially January was a big month, strong month. February, news started to break. By end of Feb, things paused completely. Right, so was very much unanticipated. Nobody thought that's going to happen.
And that was like everything stopped.
Everything. So we had I remember March, April, May, where literally we stopped looking at our dashboards. That there was no point. There was no movement at all.
Nothing.
In the region and globally, everybody was at home. Companies shut down. See, for us, the key thing was, okay, what do we do? Number one, how do we keep our stuff safe, right? So we had so many offices around the world. We had offices in Jakarta, in Bangalore, in Singapore, in Dubai, in Egypt, in Cairo. So we just saw, okay, in Kuala Lumpur. So how do we make sure that these people are safe and they are, away from as much as possible from whatever would cause them the disease at that point of time. So we started working a lot with the HR, delivering messages, giving all this precautionary sort of, messages to them that to keep them safe. Number two is how to keep the stuff,
So they don't leave.
So that was very important, how to create an environment that we reassure for them that the business is going to continue, you're going to stay, we're not going to lay off people, it's a tough time, we're going to pass it together. So we had all of that as well in the meeting. I'm so proud to say we successfully really finished the whole thing without letting a single employee.
Wow. And that really deserves respect.
So that was the key thing for us. But then we started to think also, how do we make some money, right? Because
did you manage to do some quick pivot and twist the business model quickly to generate some revenue?
Yeah, so we tried at the beginning. We tried some crazy stuff. We went off the radar for a couple of weeks, but that sort of approach actually opened our eyes on something different. So we, as a meta search, as a search platform, loyalty was always a challenge for us, right? Because people don't transact normally on Wego. People go and transact with one of our partners. So what we did is basically throughout some of the trials. So we tried to do some food delivery. We tried to do some sort of affiliates for some of the e-commerce players. We thought, okay, we're very sizable. We've got 26 million users across the region here. Those people used to come and shop, travel with us. We need now, while they are stuck at home, to keep the communication going, stay informative, and tell them what they can do while they are at home. So we started partnering with some of the e-commerce players, some of the food delivery, with some of the grocery delivery, all of that. And that brought up an idea of actually creating a new business within the business, which is called Shop Cash, which is a cashback model, which we are using today as our loyalty program.
Wow.
So we came out with this really creative idea. We put together the plan, we built the product. So we have today a standalone business called Shop Cash, where people can buy their routine, daily, e-commerce stuff, and it works on the reverse affiliate model. Basically, they're gonna have some cash back in their wallet, virtual wallet within Shop Cash, and they can use that later whether to buy travel deals from Wego, so they can buy a ticket or hotel stay, or they can ask us for the cash and we put it back in their bank account. So,
and that's amazing. That's just another success story of a company that managed to quickly shift, adapt. All right, you didn't solve the problem at the time. There was nothing really that you could do major for your business, but again, this is a positive output of what happened. And being agile enough and quick enough to think fast, adjust, adapt, and launch something new.
Definitely. And another thing, actually, one of the things that I think we made a good use of the crisis at that time is basically we relooked at our product roadmap completely. And we really prioritized things, and there was some complicated stuff that within the busy days we wouldn't necessarily focus on, and we just put our heads together and we got it done. So many of the things that we were anticipating to finish in 18 months time, we got it done in 6 months time. We got some new cool features and products ready for the market when it opens back, just in place, tested,
to be rolled
ready
out.
and rolled out, and just waiting for users to come and enjoy it.
At which point did things kind of change again, back to kind of normal?
So phases, right? So phase one was in June 2020, where basically the domestic sector in Saudi opened up again. So people started to move within the country. Airlines started to schedule some flights. Not with the same capacity pre-pandemic, but at least we started seeing people buying and booking some flights. So that kind of gave us a little bit of bandwidth. Phase two was the staycation. Around July, August of 2020, every hotel in Dubai went back into operation. They started having lots of staycation programs and packages. I think people were really desperate to go out and to do something.
They had some cash accumulated as well.
Exactly. So at that time we started seeing some business coming in, and then when Dubai started to put everything together for the preparation of Expo and opening up the country, and so that last part of Q4 2020, around the New Year time, where basically we started seeing some of the inbound coming from around the world, basically to Dubai. That was the time where basically we started seeing a bit of traction happening, and a bit of reassurance around travel, and people started to think, okay, I will go back home, I will go see my family, it's time to start thinking about it. So it's kind of phases. It's very tough 3 months, but then every quarter kind of a new thing that
getting back on
the
track.
case. Yeah.
Reaching to February 2022, and the big announcement that you're making about acquiring Cleartrip, right?
Yep. So
this is big. I mean, this is
very,
really
very big.
This is really big.
We're very glad that we managed to do it. Cleartrip has been a strong brand in the region for a decade. So they came around the same time we came in. In 2018, they bought a very successful stroke business in Saudi called Fly-In. It's the first OTA, homegrown OTA in the region, Saudi brand. And today, throughout the partnership and the synergies we have with Cleartrip and Fly-In, we acquired their business in the Middle East. So we're going to take care of at the group level of the business of 3 brands basically. So Wego, Cleartrip, and Fly-In. We're going to keep the brands operating separately. Users will still come to Wego for whatever reason they come to Wego. They will, come to Cleartrip and enjoy Cleartrip they know, and Fly-In at the same time. But at the overall level, there's lots of technology leveraging opportunities within that will come back with like stronger
underlying technology that you're going to merge.
So you're talking about like 3 big companies. They've been there in the business for a while. They have lots and lots of technology stack in place that basically once you get it together, you're going to have a fantastic experience enhancement for most of the users. And that will help us a lot. It will give us a huge leverage in terms of commercials, discussions and negotiations, all this stuff, talking at the group level. We're definitely the largest online travel company today active in the region here, and that will go back in a benefit for all the users. So it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting. We're so happy.
What's the strategy? You are in a very competitive market globally, right? How do you fight against global players? And what's the angle that you at Wego are taking that proved to be successful?
Well, I think for us, it's not today. From the days we came into the market, I think we thought of this market before many of the global competitors. There are a few who were like looking at the markets at that time, but I think timing was a key thing for us. I mean, the first mover advantage was really going on our side. I think the proposition of being a meta search or an aggregator or a comparison platform marketplace for people to come and shop, that sort of resonates very well with the users from the region here, and they love the concept. And we grew to a place, I think, that global players need to consider how to make it difficult for us rather than us to consider how to make it, how to fight with them. I think we're sizable enough today to say that, okay, we're here, we know the market, we understand it, people trust us, we have so many users, we invested a lot in terms of talent, in terms of technology, in terms of payment, localization, language, a full call center, supporting users in 2 languages, 24 hours, over the phone, live chat, WhatsApp is coming very soon. So, too many channels that we've been working and putting our heads very focused in this part of the world. I think that will keep giving us sort of a competitive edge.
No, absolutely.
Versus anybody else.
So what's next for Wego now in the coming years? Is there an end game? Is there something that you're shooting for?
I think the big plan is to go and list. Hopefully, within the market here, we're in talks. We started to understand the stock market more and how to get ourselves listed. I think down the road, 2-3 years from today, hopefully we're gonna sit again and talk some big news.
We will be pressing a button.
Hopefully.
That would be exciting to follow.
That's the direction we're trying to go after at the moment.
Amazing, Mamoun. Thanks a lot for taking the time to come on the show.
Thanks a lot for having me.
We're going to keep an eye on Wego, and hopefully we're going to get another unicorn publicly listed company in the region, which is really going to mean a lot for the whole ecosystem.
Hopefully. Looking forward for it. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
for having
Mamoun.
me.
Guys, thanks for staying. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any words of encouragement, support, or any questions for Wego, you can reach out to the crew via LinkedIn and website and all that stuff. Obviously, they're growing, so they're hiring, so probably you want to go for that if you're looking for a job. Mamoun will stay in touch until the next time. Take care, everyone.